Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker is said to have many revelations as well as twists and turns that will lead to saga-wide implications in this story by director J.J. Abrams. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars content. So as we get closer to this movie, we are now roughly 6 months away from its release, where we finally will be able to see J.J. Abrams' vision of exactly how he's going to end the sequel trilogy and this whole entire Skywalker saga itself, and exactly where that's going to lead the future of the Star Wars franchise by Disney and Lucasfilm. So what's really exciting about this film is that we do know that they will be doing incredible things for the legacy characters and the sequel trilogy characters like Kylo Ren and Rey, etc. Now these past couple of weeks or so, we've been learning a whole lot more about this film, and when it all comes down to one of the concept art descriptions, this is where things begin to get very exciting for Episode 9. Now specifically, what's really intriguing about all of this is that a description of both Luke Skywalker and Rey sitting in front of each other inside of what's described to be the Prime Jedi Temple, where in the background Jedi ruins can be seen in the distance. It's described that Luke is giving Rey a number of lessons about the dark and the light, and even tells Rey a brief tale of his past during his time on Ahch-To. It's said that Luke reveals to her that while he was on the island near the Mirror Cave, he would feel a strange presence that was connected to the dark side and even hear whispers, where Luke explains that those whispers that he heard on Ahch-To was the dark side itself and the seduction of its power. Additionally, Luke reveals to Rey that the power of the dark side was created by the Beyond itself, thousands of years ago, that hold different microorganisms other than midichlorians that lead to the origins of the Sith being exposed to this dark power before they were against the Jedi, which started the conflict between the ancient Jedi and Sith. The whispers of the dark side are said to not be living beings of any kind, but rather the dark side itself manifesting itself to persuade its target to the darkness. So let's go over a couple of parts about this. This takes us all the way back to Star Wars Legends within the Dark Empire comic. You guys may or may not recall a moment in which Luke Skywalker says that he hears these whispers inside of his head and that it is the dark side itself. So this is J.J. Abrams once again using Dark Empire as a central piece, the glue, if you will, to the plot of Episode 9. So if you guys have not read Dark Empire or even listened to the audiobook, I highly suggest that you guys go ahead and check that out before Episode 9's release, since this movie really is going to be heavily inspired from that comic line, Dark Empire 1, 2, and 3. So moving on forward from all of this, I want to go over the Beyond. Now Luke reveals to Rey eventually while he's inside of the Prime Jedi Temple that the Beyond itself is what created the dark side. It's what actually created these new and different types of microorganisms that are different other than midichlorians themselves, which we actually went over lightly before a couple of weeks ago. So the Sith were actually said to have been exposed to this area in the galaxy that hold these different microorganisms before the Sith were even against the Jedi, and that's exactly what started the conflict between the Jedi and the Sith was, of course, the dark side itself, the origins within the Beyond that hold these different microorganisms. We're still not quite sure exactly what they're called, but I'm sure they're going to dig into Star Wars Legends material, and they're going to insert that into Episode 9. So with that being said, these whispers, it really sounds pretty creepy now, doesn't it? Because we have a moment in which Luke reveals to Rey, a lesson about the dark side and a tale of his past about what he discovered on Ahch-To, what he actually went through and witnessed near the Mirror Cave on Ahch-To, and how Rey is actually relating to that because she went down there herself. She was able to witness it on her own during the events of Episode 8. We saw it for our very own eyes. So what's really great about this movie is that it really is bringing us back to certain elements of The Last Jedi and The Force Awakens and kind of changing our perception on certain scenes that were implemented into those movies. And I think that this is JJ's attempt at really bringing the sequel trilogy into a stage where it's going to feel like it is, I guess you could say, more greater detail when they go into Episode 9, where everything about, the Force lore, the Sith, and the Jedi lore, everything related to that side of Star Wars is really going to be the main part of Episode 9. So how Luke Skywalker explains these secrets of the dark side to Rey, it really sounds like it's going to be something that we have never seen before on the big screen. And it sounds like a parallel to when Obi-Wan Kenobi was sitting on the log and delivering these different, I guess you could say, philosophies and points of view to Luke Skywalker in Return of the Jedi, and, you know, who his sister really is, how he reconfirms that it is indeed Leia, and he tells Luke exactly what happened. So, this whole entire sequence based within the Prime Jedi Temple, it really is a parallel to just that from Star Wars Episode 6, and I cannot wait to see exactly how it's going to be executed on the big screen and how it's all going to unfold during the plot of Episode 9. Anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.